Alright everybody, what is up? Welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great day. So the gameplay in the background you'll be watching is a quick, not a quick one, but just a 47 gun streak on Stronghold using the razorback. So hope you guys will enjoy that there. So today I'll be talking to you all about the time. I'm not going to say how I almost died, but I'm going to say how I almost died. But so on this day, this was probably the worst day of my life. This is probably the worst experience that I've ever had. So if you guys, most of you guys have always or have went through a phase where you just used to go to the skate park all the time, ride scooters, skateboards, bikes, etc. But I used to ride a scooter, and I used to ride one of those Razor Pros. And on this particular day, it was my sister's birthday, and we went down to and her birthday was at the duck, we called it the duck park, and the skate park was just right next door. And I was at the skate park for most of the day, and for some reason, I don't know why, but I never really wore a helmet. But on this day, I really believe that I should have, because on this day I was just riding around doing my thing, and I come up to there was like a big W and a really small W. I used to do the little W. Some of you might know it if you guys live around in the Logan area in Beenleigh. But yeah, I live somewhere in Beenleigh, so I'm not going to tell you where. But I used to ride on the little W, and I used to, I finally learned how to air it and drop in and do everything. But I couldn't do anything. But on this particular day, it was really cloudy. It was about to rain, and with these, as some of you may know, that it gets really slippery when water hits the surface of the I don't even know the equipment, you could say. But yeah, and it started spitting a little bit, and I didn't take notice of it, but I don't know why I did it. I dropped in, and I have no recollection after what happened there. I dropped in, and I woke up on the other side of the W with my with the scooter coming over the top and landing on my head. I think it was either the end of the bar or the tail of the scooter hit me right around the temple. It hurt. It killed like a motherfucker. It is the worst. And afterwards, I thought I was gonna die. And luckily, these group of boys I'd never met before, they all came over and they all helped me up. I was about 14. And I was crying, I was bawling my eyes out. It was the worst pain I ever went through in my life, probably. And I walked back over to the park next door with my mum, where my mum was and her friend. And she said that it was like a giant tennis ball, on my head. It was massive, and I ended up having a black eye afterwards. And that night, I ended up going to the doctors, and the doctor said I was fine. My parents had to watch over me, and because my dad went early, so I went home early, so he had to come back, pick me up, take me to the local doctor, got checked out. They said just watch over me, as I mentioned, and I came home. I tried to sleep, and I just could not sleep. I had the worst headache imaginable. It was terrible, and I was vomiting. I couldn't, and the worst headache, I couldn't sleep. And my mum called up the health helpline, and she asked, was it for someone's advice? And they said call the ambulance. So they called up the ambulance. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I didn't think nothing much of it. And the ambos finally came around. They took a while, and they came around and they did some sort of squeezing test with their let me squeeze their finger. And because I was really weak, and they looked at the whole examination when they check your eyes and all that, they thought that I might had a bit of bleeding on the brain or something because of the accident. And plus I also had a concussion. So, and I was rushed. I was taken to the hospital. I was bawling my eyes out when they said that I might have some sort of head trauma. I was scared for my life. So I hopped in the ambulance. The bloke that was with me, he was the nicest bloke. I was chatting to him the whole time when I was going to the hospital. I get there, I jump out, and it took a while. We sat down, and I had to sleep on my mum. I was laying horizontal, and I was sleeping on my mum's lap. I know it might sound a little bit gay, but yeah. And I finally was able to get in. I was go in, see the doctor at the hospital. They said I was fine, and I had some sort of bruising, really bad bruising, and probably a bit of a blood clot or something in the tip of my finger, and it hurt like a motherfucker. And she squeezed, and she says, "Does that hurt?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, because you're squeezing it." It was like some dumb Asian bitch, but they ended up saying that I was fine, and I got sent home. And just before I got home, we pull up to the main road, about to turn left, and about to go home, and they had to quickly pull over because I had to vomit, so I had to quickly open the car door. I had a vomit, and then when I got back home, I had to have a quick vomit just voice break. Hope you guys don't judge me, but I had a quick vomit just outside the car door in my driveway. So yeah, and I ended up going inside, getting cleaned up, and went to bed. So basically, that was I could have died. I think I could have died. It was the most excruciating headache I've ever had. And just the fact that I could have had some sort of really bad brain trauma just because it was a stupid scooter accident. And I've never ever been to the skate park since. I've given up I was going to the skate park, so I hope you guys did enjoy this little life story, and if you guys did enjoy, leave a like, helps out the channel. Subscribe, so please subscribe for maybe some life stories. I might have a few to tell you guys. So, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, as always, stay goontastic. Catch you fellas.